Hey guys, and welcome back to another podcast episode of Okay, what about it? And today we're doing a little different. Like, I kind of chose to do like a topic she wanted to do, but I also was like more excited to like do this because I've heard about these type of things and I was like, it's different. It's something to talk about. Actually, it's something you can actually keep a conversation going.
So the topic that we're going to be talking about is conspiracy theories. Now, conspiracy theories is very broad. You can say a lot of things about conspiracy theories, but I love conspiracy theories to my core. I like read about conspiracy theories all the time. Like, I've always been that girl that likes mystery, that likes scary things, that likes spooky things. And, you know, even though I went through that hardcore phase in, like, the 8th grade, like, now it still stays with me. Yeah. So, which things, but... Go Twitches! We're gonna talk about conspiracy theories. I don't know which conspiracy theories just yet. I have a few in mind that I want to talk to you about. Yeah. I think the first one... Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, I mean, personally, because there's a few I've heard of, but, like, there's nothing, like, too, you know... I don't know. I feel like some of them are kind of boring, but some of them are really interesting.
So the first conspiracy theory that I feel like everyone, like, you hear this on a constant rate is we're in a simulation.
Oh, that, yeah. Why do you say that? Because I'm like, I don't know. For me, I really don't. I don't have a reason to justify that. Like, you know what I mean? Like.
So, what if we're just like, I don't know. A simulation can really be anything. Yeah. It doesn't have to be sort of like, because you think about games. Yeah. Like, you sort of think about The Sims and things like that. Like, they make decisions and stuff like that. What if we're just a sim?
Oh, that's a good point. Personally, when I think about, like, a simulation, I always think of, like, I kind of think of it as, like, a TV show. Like, because, like, everything is scripted, everything's already been written. So, basically, it makes me feel like our entire life has already been written. It's not, I don't know, just personally how I think about it. I mean, I don't know if you guys can relate. Like, you ever just feel like something's bound to happen, no matter how much you don't want it to happen?
Yeah. But the whole simulation thing, I feel like it's pretty broad. Because when other people think of simulations, it's different.
What do you mean?
Like, simulation, I think of The Sims. Like, I don't know why. I just think of Sims. When other people think of simulations, they probably mean, like, The Matrix. Like, we're stuck in this bubble. Like, nothing's fucking real. Yeah. Like, everything's sort of made up. Like, the sky isn't actually fucking there. Like, that type of shit. I think the sky is there. I'm pretty sure the sky is there.
But the thing is, the one thing that makes me feel like everything is... Isn't it so weird? Like, another thing I also want to discuss. So, I guess, is it okay if we go ahead and move on to the next topic? Or something I kind of want to talk about is us being, like, the only planet in the entire galaxy that we know that has human life. Besides, potentially Mars could have, like potential life on it. Yeah, but isn't it so weird that we all live on this one planet... And there's like you've never had another planet of a human race.
It's very weird when I usually get high, I think about this conspiracy theory a lot. Yeah. Because there are times when I've been high and I've been sitting there like, what's scarier, knowing that we're probably the only ones here, or that there's other people out there. And that's terrifying to think about. It
is terrifying, but it's also the most like eye-opening thing. Like, you know what I mean? Because like some of us be like we are, I mean, every day we're constantly facing our own problems and shit, but like you also got to think that somewhere out there there's probably another version of you. Like, have you ever heard about like so like I feel like there's a version of you that makes different decisions. So that's just kind of something I think about.
That's sort of why you get deja vu.
Yeah. And that's why I'm like, we can't be like it.
There's no way in hell. There is some girl that looks just like me in a different universe that has different qualities of life and just did certain things like when you make big decisions.
Yeah, like, and then, but they make the opposite decision that you make, way that we are alone. Like,
there's no way that we're alone.
Yeah, I just don't believe that, you know.
There's no way that we're alone in this universe. There is another universe somewhere that has the same qualities as us.
Because we live, to think about, like, put this in your brain. Like, we live in a galaxy. We live in the Milky Way. And outside the Milky Way is thousands, maybe trillions of other galaxies with some sort of life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that makes you think, like, holy shiznit, like
there's so much.
There's so much more to us than Earth itself.
And it's just crazy how gravity works, how space works, how this, that, and the third works.
Gravity just is so weird to me. Like, like when
you're speaking of gravity, keep going. What you're gonna say?
Like with Earth, like I'm gonna bring fart. Like this is gonna be so embarrassing if I say this wrong. But like with Earth's gravity, like it's so weird because like we stay on like everything doesn't float, but like once you start reaching a certain atmosphere, things start like kind of float, like because they have no sense of gravity. So isn't that just crazy to me? Or maybe it's just crazy to all of us.
It probably is. But thinking of gravity, isn't it weird that on this side of the Earth, on the other side of the Earth, they're technically right side, and we're all in the same like level?
Yeah.
You know what? Like, this is a conspiracy theory that I have dealt with so many times, and I've questioned it so many times. The world is flat.
Yeah.
And I know you're looking at me crazy.
Like, what do you mean? Like Earth isn't round?
Yeah, Earth isn't round. It's flat.
It does feel like Earth is a little flat because of the way that, just like, I mean, with the north, south, and like west and east, like everything is so odd because it's like it does seem like it's kind of flat.
And you know, people will make the argument, scientists have been out of space, blah blah blah, this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
But it's like, and like NASA has done this, but NASA also lied to us about the moon landing.
Right.
So it's like, can we really trust the government?
I mean, right. I forgot all about that, but I remember when it was announced that it was all like basically a lie. And they are like, apparently they're trying to, like, they're building a spacecraft like right now, which is supposed to get to, I don't know, I think it's supposed to go back to Mars or whatever or something like that.
Yeah.
Or another planet. I'm not quite sure.
Space has always fascinated me.
Same. Which is why I took astronomy.
And then you were like,
yeah, it's so it's not
so
even,
hard.
It's not the thing that is even hard. There's so much information that you just have to learn, and there's so many planets and so many different moons for planets and all that. So
because at first I thought I wanted to be an astronaut. Since I was a young age, it was either veterinarian or astronaut.
I wanted to be an astronaut when I was younger too.
Just because I thought they were so cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like there's other life. Like, there's definitely other life. And I feel like we're not the only life in this universe. I feel like there's other things in this universe.
Yeah.
Like, maybe, like, 3 other species or something like that. So that's where
because you have to think about, mind you, when we think about the universe as a whole, the only thing that's really constantly changed is Earth. Like, Earth's been the planet that has changed. Which I think that kind of blows my mind because the moon has not. I mean, the moon changes, but there's, how they said there's a dark side of the moon, which doesn't see, like, the light or whatever. But you also got to recognize that Earth has changed. It's not like any other planet we know so far. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's another planet out there like Earth.
Because in the beginning, we were all clumped together.
Yeah. And
then we sort of broke away, and now we're all these individual countries.
Right, which is crazy. So, it just blows my mind. And also something that I also think about is often is like, isn't it weird how how over time we basically, like, the revolution and everything has happened and like Earth has changed so fast. And I think about maybe 100 years ago from now, like we were just discovering the like TV, that
right.
Like, it's just crazy how we've adapted so quick. And also to think that we had dinosaurs. Doesn't that kind of...
That blows my mind.
Because it doesn't seem like we actually did, but apparently we have, and there's been, like, artifacts and everything found.
We get fossils and everything else like that.
Which makes me think, maybe the aliens were the dinosaurs, or maybe the dinosaurs knew about the aliens. Isn't that weird? Like,
yuck, I don't like that.
And which is why they went extinct. You know what I mean? People say it was a meteor. Some people will say it's...
No, I don't think it was a meteor.
Because you got to think, if I say a giant meteor hits Earth and it changes everything, I'm talking about, like, sea levels rise, like, that seems more... There seems like there's more to it.
Yeah. because sort of that sort of aspect that this huge ass meteor the size of Earth can hit us.
And we survive. Like, Earth still survives. And everything starts to grow back. We have oceans, we have land. Like, it's I don't know. It's
kind of mind-blowing in a way. And it's also kind of weird because it's more of people saying, at any moment, you can be wiped out.
Yeah.
You don't matter. I don't matter.
Yeah.
This place doesn't matter. But in reality, it does.
Yeah.
If you think about it,
isn't it?
Out of the millions of universes that there is, you're in this universe.
Yeah.
You're on this fucking planet where it's like we have like phrases and shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
we've made our own language. Like,
yeah. English
was never an actual thing until we like, because basically to aliens we probably were speaking nothing. You know what I mean? Like, and we. But the thing is, like, you gotta think cavemen were here before anyone else. Mm-hmm. So therefore, they were different cavemen in different or not even countries, but like they were before Earth, or not even Earth. Like the continent starts to break apart. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like they make those languages, or they began the languages, and they, which is so crazy to me. It just doesn't seem. It doesn't seem like real that how I got here. After all of the caveman stuff happened, and all these languages are made, like.
You do, like, I sort of have sat there when I was high and I'm questioning, why am I here? How did I get here?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Yeah.
Why am I on this consistent train of, why was I reproduced and brought here?
Yeah.
And you know,
specifically like Earth, isn't that weird?
And why Earth? Why wasn't I an alien?
Yeah.
Why wasn't I doing beep boop, beep boop, like doing weird stuff? Why was I here? Why was I not a rock? Right. Like, I don't understand how I get here.
Yeah.
And it's just so weird how everything just comes together.
Yeah.
This universe is weird, bro.
It really is. Ugh. Okay, another thing. Death. I know.
Oh, shit.
Death is such a weird one, but like I like this one. I bring this one up because a lot of people have a lot of conspiracy theories, but there's a lot of thoughts that go into death. A lot of us believe that there's a heaven and hell, but for me, I don't personally think that. I think. Basically, you know how people say our ideas or our thoughts become reality. Basically, hell is a state of mind. You know what I mean?
Right.
And heaven is a state of like consciousness that you reach. Mm-hmm. But like, I feel like after we die, we just like, I don't know. I just feel like we're still here, but no one can see us. We can basically go anywhere we want it.
Right. And that's what I also believe. So I mean, I grew up Christian.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I do kind of believe that there is a heaven and hell.
But I don't know. It's like the more you get older, sort of those ideas of these questions sort of pop up.
Yeah.
Well, what if this? What if that? What if that? And, you know, your parents are like, you don't question God, but it's like it's a natural process to question things that you don't know about.
Right. Exactly.
You know, and so of course we have the heaven and hell. Which I do believe there's a heaven and a hell. Right?
Yeah.
I do believe there's beautiful angels. I do believe there's demons on this earth that come down and tempt us to do things.
Yeah.
And I think there are angels that, like our guardian angels, of course, that tell us, listen, you're not supposed to. And I feel like you have to be really, really good to go to heaven, and you have to be really, really good really, really bad to go to hell.
But the thing is, we, like, in the Bible, God gives us free will, supposedly, you know. So we make decisions. But some people, mind you, people have a lot of mental illnesses, issues. Which I'm like, okay, so what if the person is like they actually are crazy, but like I don't know, isn't that crazy? Like,
I know it's weird.
It doesn't seem like that is a reason to justify why someone goes to hell or heaven, because sometimes people mentally make these decisions because they don't have the, I mean, maybe they don't have like the perfect life or whatever.
Right.
So it seems so weird to me that it's like basically you're good, you go to heaven.
And I also hate when, just out of topic.
Yeah.
I also hate when people say like, you're going to hell, like you're literally going to hell, you're a sinner, you're this, that, and the third, when it's like everyone on this earth has sinned, baby.
Right, everyone
on this earth. I don't care if you're a nun, if you're Catholic, this, that, or the third, you have sinned, Miss Thing.
Yeah.
Like you can't
justify.
You can't do that.
Because, like, the thing about that is, it's like, no matter who you are, you've done something that wasn't always, like, okay, let's say you're not telling the truth, you're not being honest. And that even goes with yourself. Because lying is, basically lying to yourself is still a sin, because you're not being truthful.
Exactly.
So.
Everyone has sinned. So I'm tired of people that think they're higher than other people.
To tell us where we are destined.
Exactly. Don't do that.
And the thing is, nobody makes that decision on where we go.
No, only God
makes
that decision.
But I feel like I'm stuck between, like, I do believe that there is a higher essence, and I like to call it the universe God.
Universe God, yeah.
And I just think after we die, there is a limbo. Like, there's a limbo between, like, heaven and hell, or there's just
right. Okay, yeah.
And then there's also a part of my brain that's like, there's probably somewhere where we go, like, basically where all of everything we've ever imagined comes to, like, we basically get to live it, basically. But it's weird. I don't know.
So, like, the whole idea of ghosts and stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, I genuinely believe in ghosts. I've been in house with ghosts. Like, you know what I mean? And so, I genuinely do believe in ghosts, but I feel like the ghosts are sort of the trapped souls.
In the limbo.
Exactly.
They're in the limbo because they didn't make it out in time, or maybe they
aren't done with the business that they wanted to do. Like, you know what I mean? You're stuck and you're just like, I really need to get this done. I need to get this done. You know, like, even freak accidents.
Yeah.
When people, like, are just stuck.
Yeah.
And I've heard that they go into this loop.
Yeah.
And that just terrifies me. Like, imagine getting killed
and having
that being your loop
for the rest of eternity
until you figure out how to get the hell out of it.
Oh my gosh! There was a movie. It was basically, I forgot what it's called. It was something about, it's this girl. She lives in this house, but she dies. You know what I mean? But her father ends up killing her entire family.
Oh my god!
So, but basically, the girl, she keeps reliving and reliving and reliving until she figures out how to basically stop her dad. Yeah.
It's almost like Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
That movie. It's literally like Groundhog Day, and I feel like they go through that multiple times to try to figure out how to get out. And people that know how to get out, they're gone. We don't have any connection with them anymore. So that's why I always feel like I don't have any connections with my grandmother, because she doesn't come in, like, she comes in my dreams, but I don't, like, have a conversation with her and, like, hear her and stuff like that. Like, even though all of her artifacts are here, like, this is all her stuff.
Yeah.
I don't see her.
Yeah, you don't see her.
I barely see her in my dreams. Like, I don't see her. I hear her in my dreams, but I don't see her. So that's why I feel like she got out of the limbo as soon as she died. Yeah. And she was like, peace out. Yeah. And she's in a great place doing her thing. But,
honestly, like, ever thought about ancestors? Like, how... Isn't it weird? Like, people say we have ancestors, but basically, like, we are reliving their... We're reliving their... Which makes me think, like, you know, I love to travel. So I'm thinking my ancestors somewhere between there. Yeah. Love to travel. And when I was younger, I used to always want to go places. But obviously, like, when I was younger, I really wasn't capable of doing all those things. But when I first turned 17, I went on my first solo trip. And it was the scariest thing, but it's like, it felt right. Like, you ever just feel like, okay, so, like, I had this euphoric moment where, you know, when you feel something so deeply, I'm talking, like, it covers your entire...
in your core, yeah.
It's like a shivering down your spine. Yeah. Euphoric kind of moment. There was a euphoric moment when I was on the plane, and it felt so right, but it felt so, like, I had never felt like I lived before then, you know what I mean? So, it's just... Which is why I question ancestors, but...
Yeah, and, you know, you sort of get the same genetics. So, like, you go back to, like, your ancestors, like, you can look like one of your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmothers.
Right.
And it'll be crazy. You look like a twin, because genetics are that strong.
Yeah. Which is why I'm like, we could be literally reliving, like, the life of our ancestors over and over and over again.
No, that creeps me the fuck out.
It kind of does. I know, like, but it's just like, it's not like we live that. Our next version of ourselves lives that. But basically, our memories go away when we die, and then, like, okay, let's say we have children, right? I don't know. This is weird, and this is like, I'm kind of getting
shivers.
I know, because I'm just thinking about this. Yeah. But let's say we have children, right? Our child, who looks like us, is like reliving us, reliving our life all over again. Like, you ever just think,
that's
like,
weird. I remember this one time when I was high and I was having this conspiracy theory that what if we are, like, our past self is controlling us right now, like in The Sims.
Oh, that's.
I know that sounds kind of heat, doesn't it?
It sounds scary. Like,
yeah, like my past self is looking down at me from this computer, or whatever the hell they're looking at me from.
Yeah. And
they are controlling me.
Yeah.
Like subconsciously, like, oh, grab that drink and drink out of it. You know, these subconscious things.
Yeah. Okay, now this really made me think about, like, I'm throwing out conspiracy theories as my brain, like, that's why I'm just that's why I'm just keep
that's
going.
That's why I love the conspiracy theory conversations.
Yeah. Okay, did you have any?
Okay, so I was watching Detroit.
Was like Detroit, like
so Detroit Become Human, the gameplay.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I remember this line where it was like, you gave us life, now it's time for us to have a life, or something like that. And it was sort of basically like the robots evolving.
Like their free will, like having their own ability to do stuff.
Yeah, having their own life. Yeah. So it made me think, what if the gods were here first, right? Yeah. And they made us.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, shit. Yeah. They getting a little smart. We gotta bounce.
Yeah.
And then we're here, right?
Yeah.
And then let's say we make robots.
Yeah.
Then they start evolving.
Yeah.
Mind you, a robot can be trained to make another robot. And another robot. And that robot. And we'll be extinct.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I never really thought too hard about that.
Yeah.
But we have like when we first heard about the actual live robot, I forgot what her name was.
Yeah, I forgot. She's like bald.
Yeah, she's bald. I think we'll just post a picture over here. But like no, like, cause I remember like she basically has a mind of her own.
That's fucking weird. Like, that's really weird.
Yeah. Like that's the thing, like 100 years ago, we were not able to do that, and you may think 100 years ago was a long time ago.
That's not.
It really was not. That's when the Civil War was happening. Mm-hmm. That's when slavery was still, like, I don't think slavery was abolished in certain areas, but like to think that like segregation was still happening during this period. So it's crazy. It's
very wild how far we've come.
Yeah. Because
now me and you can sit next to other peoples of other different race. We're off topic.
Yeah.
But
I get what you...
It wouldn't be Mauri and Chami if we weren't off topic. Do you have a conspiracy?
Yes. Now this one is gonna kind of... I don't know, but this, like, you were talking about gods. Mm-hmm. I think back in the day, Greek mythology was real. Mm-hmm. And it changed over time. So basically, Zeus is like the gods of gods. You know what I mean? Like, but Zeus was a man with long hair and a beard, and that's how people see God. Like, isn't that like crazy?
Weird,
like,
yeah.
And then we thought about zodiac signs, and we think about, I think the Greek mythology and like the zodiac signs, everything kind of correlates to each other, because I'm thinking, like, in my head, I'm like, there was a period where all of this was actually a thing. Like, there were actually gods. Mm-hmm. Part of me thinks that was, and then all of them died but one, which left God. I don't know. That's kind of.
I get what you're saying.
But it probably doesn't make sense. But I'm just like, I'm kind of going off what of my thoughts.
Off the brain, yeah.
Yeah, off the brain. But isn't that odd? Like we've created zodiac signs, and like we have charts to prove alignment of our placements. Like, okay, you can be a
Cancer, you're sensitive.
Yeah, like
Aries, you're angry as hell all the time. Yeah. Like, it's just like.
But the thing about that is like with the charts, because the charts are kind of crazy, because you realize how much, like, you can realize you have a placement in like like you can have your fourth house could be in Aries or something like that, like, which is kind of odd, and which is why we kind of base our personalities off zodiac signs.
One thing. I remember sort of Snapchat had this thing where you can look at zodiac signs, like other people's zodiac signs, and sort of see their personality. And I swiped on this person that I knew, and it was perfect. Like, when I think about them, hardworking. If they don't need it, they'll get rid of it. Yeah. They work hard as hell to get to it. Yeah. And this, that, and the third, and it just creeped me out. Yeah.
But I don't feel like every Aries or every Cancer or every Gemini are the same, because I've met Geminis who are very different, but I've also met Geminis who are very similar in a way. considering my mom is a Gemini, but she's like, a lot of people say Geminis are assholes, or
your mom's really sweet.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, never, which is why I'm like, okay, placements are so important, because you can't say someone's a Gemini and then not really justify their placement. Like, they could have a fucking Sagittarius moon or something. I don't know. So,
because people like to say a lot of things about Virgos.
Yeah.
Like, Virgos ain't shit, but it's like, I'm the most loyalist person that you'll ever get. But go off, I guess.
Right.
One conspiracy theory I have is the reason why the government sort of stops us from having, like, legalizing drugs.
Yeah.
Like psychedelics and this, that. Mainly psychedelics. I'm mainly talking about psychedelics.
Yeah.
Is because it makes us see the truth. And mind you, I've been on psychedelics before.
Yeah.
And it's weird.
Yeah. I think someone talked about that, and then like how, which is why like marijuana and like why like stuff like that isn't like, or shrooms aren't like legalized in certain areas, which is crazy because like some people have these euphoric moments. Like, I've never seen Euphoria, but like in that show apparently like she goes through a limbo of where she starts to see reality, and she's like seeing the truth, but it's also like these things, it comes with a cost. It's like you take these psychedelics, you get to see the truth, but
then you get off of it.
But the government doesn't want us to see the truth, like you said. But the state of where we are, like in a society, like that's why I believe that certain things aren't legalized, because there's quality in them that can provide for humans.
Exactly.
Like marijuana, like why isn't it not legalized? Exactly. And people use it, and most of the time people actually do need it like medically. You know what I mean? So.
So places that don't have sort of legal marijuana, it really sucks because you have to sit here and you have to sneak around, and then you're also like, what if the cops bust down my door and I go to jail for 7 years? And I become a felon. Like, you know what I mean? And it's just like, it's crazy how we can go to jail for a plant, a literal plant that makes no sense to me. How I can go to jail for a fucking mushroom.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me when they're natural parts of.
Yeah. Like you could find them like on your own, or you could literally. And that's the thing. These things are planted. Like, you know what I mean? Like, these are plants.
Exactly.
Like, it's not like, let's say like vegans eat a ton of freaking plants, and the reason I bring up vegans because they have a plant-based diet. Like, you can't keep these plants away from people because these plants need to be given. They can't just be, they can't just be planted and then not done anything with.
And it's also like these plants are also natural. So if you think about sort of adventurers that, went out before we went out, like they would eat stuff and they would get high off of it.
Yeah.
And, that would make them hallucinate and see shit. And, of course, they would write it down. And, and it sort of makes me think about how some people went on boats and they saw these creatures that we've never seen before. And, you get this idea, were you fucking ship sick or were you high as hell off, like, some shrooms or something? Or a toxic fish. Like, I just... And, it's like, they talk about these like weird creatures like Loch Nessie, like Loch Ness. Like those were apparently real.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
That's like, weird.
Because like, or like Bigfoot, like the Bigfoot. Bigfoot has been a theory for years. And
we still haven't figured it out.
Yeah, like but the thing is, a lot of people feel like they've seen it. But the thing is, okay, we're kind of going to the next topic.
Yeah.
But the thing is about like these creatures that we don't see, I feel like we see them and then we somehow lose our memory of seeing it. Like maybe it could be like, these like the Loch Ness monster, like I don't think, or people don't survive to see it. And then all of a sudden you don't know where these people go and they just disappear. Just disappear.
And it goes back to the alien conversation that we were talking about. Aliens are for sure real. Aliens have for sure been on here. They've been walking around. I'm pretty sure they're chilling on the island right now. But it's sort of aliens. People people have stories about them getting abducted by these aliens.
Yeah.
Getting them coming to their bedside.
Yeah.
That might be sleep paralysis, though.
Right.
But
I'm scared of sleep paralysis.
But like, you know, and there's these constant stories about aliens that come up all the time, especially if you're in Arizona. That's where it's the most
Area
active.
51. Isn't that where Area 51 is? Or is it? I think it's somewhere else.
I don't remember. But Arizona is where a lot of alien activity happens.
Yeah.
A lot of weird shit. And I feel like the reason that happened is because of the Native Americans. And that goes into another theory. The Native Americans have cursed this land.
Yeah, I definitely do believe that the Native Americans have somehow cursed America because of basically Christopher Columbus.
I feel like because then the Native Americans stop in New Mexico and Arizona.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why there's so much activity there and it's so electric there. Of course, there have been reports of skinheads in Arizona, this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
Do you know what skinheads are?
I think I know. Like, people with the, isn't like red face or whatever?
No. Wait, what did I say?
Skin, red, what do you call it? Skin face? Whatever? Skinhead?
No, Girl, I forgot what they're called. I'll put the word up here. But they basically turn into animals.
Oh.
So they shapeshift into animals, and then they shapeshift into humans.
Mm.
And you make a spell for it.
Yeah.
Like, Native American witches make a spell for it. And they come out of nowhere. And that shit is terrifying.
Yeah. Also, okay, not to interrupt you, but you were talking about, like, basically how when they were in New Mexico and like areas like those, I don't know if you've noticed, but they are very spiritual, very strongly spiritual, and a lot of people travel there because of the spirituality that is connected with those areas, which is kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah, and that's also why I want to go to Arizona, because I feel like spiritually I will be very content with myself. I don't know why, but Arizona has been like, come here, come here, come here.
Yeah.
And so has like Hawaii. Hawaii's been like, come here, come here.
Hawaii's different though, because Hawaii was an island that I don't think we actually originally even owned Hawaii. And Hawaii became, like, we just took Hawaii from, you know. But the thing is, like, Hawaii something about Hawaii for me, like, obviously I was supposed to, like, kind of travel to Hawaii, but obviously with COVID and everything, there's nothing that's not happening anytime soon. Hopefully in the summertime, and we'll have something up for you guys. Okay, so, but the thing about Hawaii, it just feels like, I feel like Hawaii is, like, it brings so much peace, and the culture there is so different than America itself.
Exactly.
It's like Hawaii cannot be compared to any other state in the U.S.
Not at all.
So.
And you know, back to the Arizona thing.
Yeah.
So I was just an idea sort of popped in my head. Like, I watch like a lot of ghost adventures and a lot of ghost reality TV shows because that's just the kind of person that I am.
Yeah.
And I like to judge it on if it's real or not. But I know the ghost adventures, they do a lot of them in Arizona. Like, there's this dome in Arizona that has like satanic rituals and shit. And that's terrifying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why I feel like Arizona is so electric. That's why I see Arizona as this electric ass field, because I believe that the Native Americans, since I was at their last place that they live, because they're gonna go out.
Yeah.
They're not gonna be a race anymore.
Yeah.
Which fucking sucks.
Yeah. Completely sucks.
Fuck you, Christopher Columbus. But it's just an electric place.
Yeah.
And I love it. And I just don't know why I'm so attached to those weird places.
Yeah.
When I'm terrified of every single thing that's there.
Yeah. But hey, well, I enjoyed that.
Yes.
That was good. I think this is probably my first favorite, different, scary kind of. It was kind of scary, but it was also kind of eye-opening in a way. So, thank you guys for joining us.
Yes, guys. Put some of your conspiracy theories in the comments. I love reading conspiracy theories. There's a lot of conspiracy theories that we didn't go over.
But we're going to make another video, I'm sure, in the future time.
Yes,
so
we are.
Definitely can expect that.
But thank you guys for watching. And we will see you next time. Bye!